Welcome to the GameTime Podcast. We are back with another slate of episodes here on this wonderful Sunday. We've got all three members of the GameTime Podcast in the building. I am Isaiah Hoffman, and of course, we've got Daryl and Ramon. Ramon, great to have you back this week. We're going to talk about Ramon's two favorite things this week. We're going to talk about the Lakers, and we're going to talk about the WNBA. So I know Ramon is happy to get into it. But first, Ramon, I gotta ask you, as the biggest Bronny fan in the podcast group, how do you feel about his summer league performances?
What's that one thing called the Fifth Amendment? Can I plead that?
Plead the fifth. All right, fair enough.
Please let me plead the fifth. But here's the thing about Bronny James, man. People complain when you talk about him. Oh, you shouldn't talk. Who's talking about a kid? Who's talking about a 40 whatever to pick? You know what I'm saying? But then it's thrown in your face every day. Like, he's leading. He's on the front of ESPN.com when that summer league plays, and there's about tons of people on that team that's better than him. So how can we not have a rebuttal?
Yeah.
How can we not talk? How can we not critique his play when you're throwing it at us every day? That's the problem. You know what? You don't want me to talk about him, and you don't talk about him, and we good. But when you open your mouth, I'm going to rebut.
Yeah. We were talking about him last week. There was a video that I put up a couple days ago, and we started to talk about the Lakers, and I'm like, they're becoming a soap opera with everything that's going on this offseason. So I've made a little bit of a logo. I've downloaded some soap opera-esque music, and now every time we talk about them, I'm going to have this little intro in the middle of the video and it's called The Young and the Lakerless. It's a ripoff of The Young and the Restless that my grandma used to watch. So when we talk about the Lakers, it's already in one of the videos that we posted. So that's just going to be something fun that we do when we talk about the Lakers. But I want to start off with the WNBA. They had their All-Star game last night, and all the players came out with shirts that said, "Pay us what you owe us." Now, there's been a lot of discourse about it online. I think some people don't understand truly what they're trying to get out of this negotiation with the CBA, while others, because I think we all know, right? The WNBA hasn't profited yet. Caitlin Clark has helped them, almost get above the red line, but they're not profiting yet. They're still about a $50 million loss. They still have a lot of work to get to if they want to turn a profit. I think, and Kelsey Plum said it was on a podcast. I think it was last year or so, where she said, when we say we want more money, it's in the terms of the revenue. Not more or less in the contract, but merchandise sales, stuff like this. Something I didn't know is they don't make the money off the jersey sales that they get off, the WNBA store and stuff like that. They don't make those jersey sales. I don't know. Obviously, I think they make money off the TV deal, and they're getting a bigger increase in the TV deal that they have come next season. So I think overall, there's some people that run with a narrative to get their point across in some degree when it comes to the WNBA. But I think there's other people that and Daryl said it before we got on here, that just don't know what they mean when they say pay us what we're owed. Because I think they're mainly talking about the revenue, which is merchandise and some other factors that go into that. But at the same time, the league's not generating a profit. So I don't know if they have that much room to stand on just yet. And for all the people, and then obviously there's people saying, it's all off the back of Caitlin Clark, which most of that is true. We're not saying that nobody else in the league is a good basketball player. There's plenty of good basketball players in the WNBA. I think Aja Wilson is probably still the best all-around player in the WNBA. It's not Caitlin Clark. Honestly, I don't think Caitlin Clark's getting enough, not backlash, but she can't seem to stay healthy at this point, and that's not really being talked about either. While everyone wants to already make her the best player in the league, she can't even stay healthy. The best player in the league is still Aja Wilson, but I think she is the reason why the league is seeing success, and a lot of people don't want to talk about that. And I think there's a lot of problems on with the league that the league has to figure out, because I get it. Caitlin Clark is probably their most marketable star, but that comes in terms with everybody else. Not only needs to back Caitlin Clark, and the older players have to stop treating the new players in this weird way or something like that. Like everybody has to come together to make the league better. Or there's always going to be there's going to be discourse and divide if you want to be a popular league. That just comes with it. But there's just a lot going on right now that the league and the players have to get situated if they want this league to continue to grow. Anybody else can take the floor.
I would agree. I would agree with that. But as I said though, be careful, right? The league hemorrhaged money for 20 plus years. Okay, they were there because the NBA kept them afloat, and they were basically on professional athletics welfare. Okay, I'm not saying they don't deserve more money; they absolutely do. But be careful about overplaying your hand, right? Because I'd be willing to bet you if you took a poll of fans, basketball fans, take it or leave it. At this point, while the sport has grown and the interest has jumped, but I'd be willing to bet you half of those people would still be willing to say, I can do without it if they decide to either strike or either get locked out. Mm-hmm. That's my thought on that.
Yeah, Ramon, what are your overall thoughts?
I'm gonna go real basic and not in the detail because I don't know a whole great deal about their financial issues. And none of us probably really know line items and things like that. But if we're going to do a sharing of the revenue, all right, what we bring in, all right, but our expenses are more than what we bring in, and we increase our expenses by giving you more money on the revenue side, that's going to put us in more of a deficiency, if you just do plus minuses. So are we going to in a bad term, rob Peter to pay Paul? Are we going to cannibalize ourselves, burn the candle at both ends? That could be an issue. I'm all for revenue. I'm all for revenue sharing, right? But if profits are so bad and adding additional or increasing the expense, how much longer do we have this? How much longer will it be around? And that's the scary part. How much longer will it be around? Now, if we go back to the when you mentioned Caitlin Clark and her being not being healthy, you got to play her. Unfortunately, they're probably coming in and saying, "Hey, if you're remotely able to go, we need you to go because you're pushing that revenue." All right, and if we have any chance of paying you what you're worth, what you owe us, what you owe them, you got to play because that pay is on your back. So, I mean, Kai said it best, man. Be careful. You're in dangerous waters right now, and you got to do this delicately so you can make sure that you're making the money that you need to make, that you want to make, that you should make, that the NBA or WNBA stays afloat and prospers and increases. So, we're at a dangerous time right now. I don't want anyone to jump the gun, because I want to see the WNBA succeed for years out.
No, I would agree, and I think right now the league. I mean, it's at a crossroads, right? You've got a lot of back and forth. You've got people making their own narratives and agendas when it comes to Caitlin Clark. Not only that, with Angel Reese as well, because I think you see all the backlash that Reese gets. Reese has played well in the last couple of weeks going into the All-Star break. With all the jokes about the rebounds and everything else, she had a couple 20-point games in there where she was starting to find, she found her groove heading into the All-Star break, and she's had a really good season. I think a lot of people, have to start and need to and just enjoy the product for what it is. I think right now, a lot of what the league's popularity is based off is controversy, but that's going to happen if you want to be a popular league, right? You go back to the NBA, there was a lot of controversy in the 80s, but that's what ultimately got the league out of the financial trouble that it was in back in those days. So it's okay to have these rivalries, but I think a lot of people online are trying to push a certain narrative with Clark, with Reese, the game as a whole, women's basketball as a whole. I feel like a lot of people are pushing it in this negative way and saying, oh, they deserve $0 or just making jokes of this. I think a lot of people don't want to do the research. They just want to push their narrative out there because they've got nothing else better to do. in reality, Ramon, I think you made a great point. They should get paid what they're owed, but the league also has to think about the league as well. If you're, yeah, like you said, if they have this amount that they have to pay off, obviously they're not going to have enough to give back to the players, right? The players last year or the year before, they just got chartered flights, right? Is that not an additional thing to add? If obviously you didn't get more money, but you just got an additional uh perk, I'll say, right? Chartered flights instead of public flights. That's a privilege to have. That let's say it, the league probably should have had that sooner, but now you have that privilege. I think that goes hand in hand with getting more money, in my opinion. But I get what they're saying also. It's like, I get it. If you want the revenue share, the merchandise, that makes more sense because I don't think you're going to get more money on the contracts right now. I think that's going to take a couple years because you have to build up more personalities. Reese and Clark can't be the only two people that we see in commercials and anything like that. I think people make a good point when they say, why isn't Aja Wilson being promoted as much as Clark and Reese? And I think that's a fair statement. Your best player in the league basketball wise is barely promoted at all when she is still the best player in the league by far. I don't think there's really a comparison to say anyone's close to her. And I think it's going to be the same way. When Juju Watkins gets into the league, that's going to be another player that's definitely going to help them because you look at how good Clark is. I think Paige Buckers will be on that same level of popularity. And I think Juju Watkins could be the best basketball player that the league has gotten in a very long time. I think Juju could be better than Clark all around. So I think the league just has to do a good job of managing their stars, getting them in commercials and stuff like that to increase that popularity. And then in share, it increases the revenue as well for those players, outside of the team contract, which I don't think will ever be that much money that people expect them or want them to get. You're muted, Daryl.
I thought I clicked off of it.
You're good.
I would also say to that point is they got to kind of clean that game up, man. They've got this. It's clear that a lot of players in the league target Caitlin Clark, good, bad, or indifferent. And that has to be cleaned up because it's obvious to me. And I'm not an WNBA homer, and wait, I may troll on the internet, but I'm not in love with the Caitlin Clark mindset. But I see it. When you double team a rookie in the All-Star game, and then you go on and you see what's happened over the last year and a half, you got to clean that up, right? Because what happens is those people who are paying that money, they aren't the trolls on the internet, right? Those people, the people who are loving the me bounds conversation versus Caitlin and all that, they're not the ones putting any money in and what's going on in the games, right?
You got the casuals.
So you've got to make sure you do make sure you have to placate to those who are going in their pockets. So just something to think about as well.
Yeah, Ramon, what do you have to say to kind of rebuttal in there?
You said something that was that sparked something. You said the casuals. Let's be clear: the casuals are who make these sports make money. The casuals. When the casuals come out in droves, the NBA, the WNBA, the NFL, they make money. The guys who love the sport or the girls who love the sport, like us three and other people, we don't make them that money. Yeah, we got our season tickets and yeah, we got whatever subscriptions, but the money comes from when that casual brings his wife and his 5 kids to the NBA game or WNBA game or the NFL game or the hockey game or Major League Baseball. That's when that money comes in. The reason why Wilson is not promoted is not because not because of her basketball skills, because she's outstanding by far, and I love watching her play, and I'm pretty sure you two like watching her play. But how do you market her? Let's truly be honest. How do you market her? You look at a person like I'm gonna give you 3 people. All right, I'm gonna give you 3 people: Dennis Rodman, Draymond Green, and Angel Reese. All right. Their skill sets aren't the most marketable skill sets, but their personalities are.
Yeah.
Their personalities, their demeanors, their actions and reactions are. So now you can market those 3 very easy. Like you got to have some type of personality.
You gotta have a villain. Gotta have a villain.
Yeah, you got to have something. Either super duper guy, like Steph Curry's not a villain, but everybody loves him.
Yep.
Everybody loves the shimmy and the dance and that. They love that. You know what I'm saying? Clay can score the basketball, but he was never a big rock star. You know why? Because he was kind of bland.
He's a rock star now.
Hold on, time out. It has nothing to do with basketball.
It doesn't.
It's about who he's dating.
Yeah. No, I know. I had to throw that.
But no, but that's to the point.
Props to Clay, though.
Clay is a subdued dude, always low key, and all of a sudden he's in this internet dating thing with whatever her name is. It just
the stallion.
Hey, props to Clay.
I gotta
give him props for that one.
Hey, listen, I got some commentary that's not good for recording.
Yeah, we're not going. Yeah.
When we get off our recording, I have something to share about. I got something to share about that, about her, Cardi B, and the other one too. So I have something really good to share, but it won't be on a recording.
Anyway,
you're gonna get me,
Clay. You MVP, baby.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I give my props to Clay. I give my props to him. Is there anything else? Got caught off guard. Is there anything we have else to say regarding the WNBA? Because I think overall. Oh, go ahead. No,
what I do want to talk about, right? The summer league, right? We got all the and Ramon has seen it. We got all these, so many people acting as though if you play great in the summer league, it's going to transition into you being a rotational player on an NBA team. Stop the madness, okay? The summer league is for guys, 9, 10, 11, 12 on your bench or G League guys, right? Yeah, you got some first round picks, the Cooper Flags of the world. Yes, got that. But let's be frank here. When you have a guy that's scoring 18 points and getting 6 rebounds and maybe 7 assists, we're making it as if, hey, look what he did. Yeah, he's going to get better. So if you're a player, and going back to that guy's son, if you're in year 2, you're supposed to be better than last year. If you're not, what are we doing here? Right? Yeah. So you've got to be better. And the other part of that is, if you're not better, shame on you. You should have picked up 15 pounds of muscle. It's been a year and a half. The draft was in June of 2024. You had a full NBA, you had a summer, you had a full NBA season / G League, and you got the summer again. If you, as a young man coming into the draft, if you were at 81 pounds, if you're not at 196 going into your second year, that's on you. We're giving flowers for players that are doing what they should have done. We get so excited about our favorite player, our favorite team, and as I said, Ramon, Travion blew it, right? Park Tudor High School in Indianapolis. He was in the Orlando Magic, organization. This guy was killing it. After leaving Xavier. Great career at Xavier, by the way. Great kid, by the way. Great family. I definitely thought he was going to go to Indiana and follow Yogi Ferrell. I don't think Blewett has played 10 regular season NBA games in his career. I could be wrong. I haven't done the math. So we got to – and this guy was awesome in the summer league when he was in Orlando, when he was a rookie coming in Orlando. So be careful on giving guys flowers that should be doing what they're doing, i.e. gaining weight, getting more confident, and playing better. So that's my take on this summer league, and that's why I'm not interested in Isaiah. When it was up at the house, I mean, my guy Tyrone, man, he was so far into summer league, you thought it was Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Yeah. I could care less. If I never watch another summer league game again, I'd be okay with that.
No, that's fair.
I just
would. I mean, I'm not a summer league homer either. I watch it. But yeah, I would agree with the summer league stuff as well. Ramon, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, make sure you make a cut for this and send this to me. Okay. The summer league means this. Some of y'all gonna make it, and some of y'all better get a job. That's all the summer league means.
That is such an inside joke. You're gonna post it, right? I'm sure you're gonna post it.
Some of y'all need to go find employment.
Right.
Because
Get
some of y'all
excited
ain't
about
gonna make
a
it.
guy that's either A, going to play in the G League or going to get a
God,
two-way deal back and forth. Come on, we got better things we can be
it's
excited
crazy.
about. The
Yeah.
Man,
WNBA is hot right now.
I scored 30 points last night in the 50 in the over league, man. Sign me to a two-way,
And
man.
just so you know, the WNBA is 20 times hotter right now than the summer league.
Yeah.
And
20
it's
times
crazy,
hotter.
man. It's like people are taking stats quarter by quarter and minute by minute. Did you see what he did in the third quarter? Like, dude, he played bad in the first three quarters. The
It's
first
such an
quarter.
inside joke.
Man,
It's
it's
such an
crazy, man.
inside.
It's nuts. Like, let this play out. I hope the young man make it. I hope they all make it, man.
Right.
I love
Just
sports.
because we're not fans, tell me, Ramon,
Good
just
God
because we're
almighty.
not fans doesn't mean we hate the player. We're just not
God.
fans like others are. I
Yeah.
guarantee you see behind me, I guarantee you there are people that are going to watch this that aren't Pacer fans. And I'm not mad at them. That's their decision. They're not a Pacer hater. They just don't, they love the Pacers. And I'm okay with that. You got to
Just
be okay with it.
let it play out, man. Let it play out. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. And you wish the young man good luck. You wish all the young men and women good luck. But man, we cannot give them their flowers every 3 minutes. Oh my God, he grabbed a rebound. Give him his flowers. Oh man, he hit a home run. Give
No,
him his
he's
flowers.
better. Hey, he's more confident.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Shouldn't he be more confident? Shouldn't he be more confident?
No, it's nuts, man. Like we want to praise people who haven't achieved, have done just the minimal work or the minimal success in every walk of life. I'm not just talking about sports. I'm just talking about in daily walk. Like, oh my God, he came to work today. Like, you're supposed to come to work, man. We work 9 to 5, man. So I'm not gonna praise you because you came at 8:59.
What did Chris Rock say? You're supposed to take care of your kids. You're supposed to not go to jail. When you're a credit, say, I've never been to jail. You're not supposed to go to jail.
It's crazy.
Hey, I agree. I don't really have much to speak on it. That felt a little directed maybe towards me and the Bronny thing, but it's fine.
No.
It's
Listen
fine.
here.
I'll
No.
take it. I'll take it.
You don't know.
I
Isaiah, you
Yeah,
probably
don't know
don't know. You
that.
said it's inside
it's
jokes. I'm
definitely
also like,
This
okay,
has
so
nothing to do. Listen,
It's definitely it's more. Is shots fired at my favorite insurance agent.
okay. Well, shout out to that insurance agent if he watches the pod. We're gonna move on.
but we have fun with it. We have fun with it.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
hold on, real quick. We have
Go ahead.
fun with it, but in all seriousness, you gotta temper these things. You
Yeah.
can't go over the top all the time. We just can't.
I want to give some thanks to Matt Taylor for last week. He was an excellent interview. Daryl, you would agree with that as well. He was a really good interview. And then, folks, starting next week, after today's interview, we're probably going to go away from the NBA stuff. This is probably the last week you'll see us talk about the NBA for the time being, and we're going to get into NFL. Next week, we will be doing a NFL Power Rankings video. We'll be going from 32 all the way to 1. Ramon will have his list, Daryl will have his list, and I will have my list as well. We'll rank them 32 to 1. Since training camp will be starting up next week, I think it's only right that we get into that and we start discussing the NFL and everything else. So this is, we've talked about NBA for a while up to this point. So we're switching to we're starting to switch into the NFL, and then obviously college football. We'll be talking about that as well when it comes to everything football. I know Ramon is so happy that we are leaving the NBA landscape. We're going from Bronny James and LeBron to Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns. So it's going to be a fun time with Ramon, and we're hoping to have Matt Taylor back on and some other people from the NFL and the college football world on as well. But we also have a lot of coaches that are still going to come on. So we've got some college basketball coaches that are still looking to come on. So there'll still be a little bit of basketball mixed in with it. But for the most part, when you see us three in conversation, it'll be about the NFL and college football going forward, probably after this Sunday. Fellas, one last thing I want to ask heading into our interview that we have coming up today. Well, not even about the interview, but just one last question I want to ask Did you guys watch anything about the Shane Gillis SB opening monologue? Did you watch any of it? Did you see any reactions from it? I had a great time. I thought it was funny. It got a lot of flack. I don't really care. I was just seeing. Did you like the monologue? Did you think it was too controversial? I thought it was great. My favorite one is when he said SGA is here. Everyone's sitting at the tables in foul trouble. That one was absolutely hilarious. So I was wondering if you guys had any thoughts about that, because it's a pretty slow news week other than that stuff, to be honest.
I give you my 2 cents real quick, man.
Okay.
He's a comedian.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
See, this is my point. We find ourselves want to be angry about something. Get over it, man. It was a funny joke.
Yeah.
He wasn't, mean and hateful. And he's right about the Caitlin Clark piece, right? Hey, man, look, when you see a Caitlin, if you don't see her hitting threes, you see her getting into it with a sister. That's true. I mean, it's okay to laugh about things, right? In this world of so much seriousness, it's okay to laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
So it didn't bother me at all. Now, granted, I didn't watch the ESPYs.
I didn't watch it either. I saw the clips. I used to watch the ESPYs, but I don't watch it anymore. Ramon, what are your thoughts? Did you see anything of it? Was there any jokes that got you to laugh?
All the jokes were funny.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I liked them all though.
and here's the problem with here's a problem, not the problem, a problem. Professional sports is entertainment.
Yep.
So entertain me on the court, off the court, in the media. I would like to be entertained. All right, because that's how you presenting it right now. It's entertainment, right? Yeah. The second thing is this. You know what the funniest thing in the world typically is? The truth.
Yep. The
truth is funny. And he told a lot of truth. And it was extremely funny. And people either going to laugh at the truth, going to cry about the truth, or going to hate the truth. I chose to laugh. It's pretty funny.
No, it was funny. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Shout out Shane Gillis. He did a good job. The tush push skit was funny as well. I saw that on my X feed as well. That was hilarious. But folks,
go show you how much I get around. I never heard of Shane Gillis until all this controversy.
Oh, I've heard of him. He was on College Game Day.
But I don't get out much. I don't, unless it's sports or some goofy movie or something like Ricky Bobby or something. I don't get out much. So I've never heard of this guy. However, I'm going to start looking for him because he seems like he's pretty damn funny.
He was on College Game Day last year. Him and McAfee, they went back and forth pretty well as well.
I didn't watch a lot of College Game Day. I was preparing to watch football.
Fair enough. But folks, that is going to do it for this episode. We do have an interview today. If you saw it on my X feed, you know who it is. That'll probably go up before you see this video. This probably won't go up till probably next Friday or something like that. But that's going to do it for this episode, folks. We will see you guys for more content right here on the GameTime Podcast.